Hi, everyone. I'm Denise O'Malley, the founder of You Define Wellness, and thank you for joining me for another An Apple a Day webinar. And if you've been following these on YouTube, you know that these are conversations with the You Define Wellness Network providers, and it's one of my favorite things to do because we just really get to dive in and get to know one of our health and wellness professionals. And today I have someone very special. Of course, they're all very special, but this one is absolutely very special to me. I have with me Michel Barta, the owner of Peace Bridge Reiki in Colorado. Michel, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here. And it's such a pleasure to be part of the You Define Wellness Network. I love being a provider with this organization. And it's just a pleasure to be here with you today.
That's awesome. Thank you. So we have a limited amount of time, so let's kind of just dive into this. Talk a little bit about your business, and then we'll talk about what led you to it. Or if you want to mix those up, that's okay too.
Yeah. So my business is Peace Bridge Reiki. And while it is very much a business, it doesn't feel like one. It feels like being in service for others and helping people wake up to something that's already within them. And how I came connected with Reiki is, it's an interesting story, I think, because
You're always interesting stories.
I think it's interesting. It really was the first time in my life that I had an opportunity to experience conventional healing with holistic or non-traditional healing. So how I learned about Reiki was I was seeing a therapist. It happened to be in Phoenix. And the therapist that I was working with said, "Have you ever heard of Reiki?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Would you consider using Reiki or trying out Reiki in conjunction with our work together?" And I said, "Sure." Phoenix isn't too far away from Sedona, so I had already been kind of exploring that area and had been exposed to concepts of energy and the vortexes out there and such. So I was wide open, and so she had referred me to a Reiki master teacher, and that was when I had my first session. I didn't really understand what it was. All I knew is I wanted to feel better, and I was feeling a lot of emotional charge as a result of the therapy work that I was doing. It was good, but it was just raising a lot of stuff for me. And so what I discovered with the Reiki in those first sessions was it was helping me to not feel as much of an emotional charge, still feel connected to feeling, but also to I guess, get to a higher perspective, if you will, to look at the big picture of things. Those were kind of the glaring observations that I made about my first Reiki experiences.
So I've tried Reiki and I absolutely love it. So I get what you're saying about the unsure when you are stepping into it, but you just want to feel better, and then what it actually does for you. So explain what Reiki is to the novice who's never heard of it before. Did you catch my question?
I did. I think what you said was you'd like me to share if there's someone who's a novice who hasn't quite heard of Reiki before, to help share a little bit about that. And I talk with people who've never experienced Reiki before all the time, and it's one of my very favorite conversations to have, because one of the reasons I feel I'm very called to be a part of this Reiki community is to demystify it. And so Reiki is an opportunity for all of us to reconnect with a part of us that is with us all the time. And it's that energy, that connection to energy, that connection to universal life force. And that's really what Reiki means. It's kanji, which is just Japanese writing. REI is for universal, all that is. Ki, Ki, is energy, or you may have heard of prana or chi. This is just the Japanese for that. So this is an opportunity for all of us to connect to that part of ourselves, which is universal life force energy, which is actually, we're all connected to that together.
So for those who have not heard of it before, they may be thinking that this is new. How old is Reiki? How long has it been? How long has Reiki been around? Oh no, we're freezing again.
I
Still.
missed it. I missed that question.
Okay, so if you're watching this and this is the video that we have uploaded to YouTube, we are having some connection issues and I keep freezing on Michelle. So talk for the novice out there who thinks this is new. How long has Reiki been around?
Oh my goodness. Well, it depends on who you ask, but ever since the Upanishads, there's been mention of our connection to this universal life force energy. That's BC times. They say, depending on the internet, if you Google it, between 5,000 plus BC. The form of Reiki that I practice is about 100 years old.
So
And
it's not new by any stretch of the imagination.
no, it isn't. However, you know what? It doesn't surprise me at all that some of us are like, you know, I've heard of Reiki and I think it's a kind of massage. Can you share with me a little bit more about what it is? So if you're someone listening to this video and you don't know what it is, I hope that you know that you're not alone. A lot of people don't know what it is, and that's way okay. I feel that we're in a time of existence where people are waking up to awarenesses of things like Reiki and this energy that we have.
And when you're doing Reiki, you're actually not touching the person normally. There's some times where you can ask permission to touch, but you're not putting hands on their body, correct?
Yes, so I missed the first half of the question. So I think what you just said was sometimes the hands are on the body and sometimes they're above.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. And also there is an opportunity for Reiki. We learned it in level 2. Hi, doggy.
Sorry.
It's okay. I love animals. I just say he or she's saying hi. There's also an opportunity to share Reiki remotely or from a distance, which means that the Reiki practitioner is in one location and the receiver is in another location. So I've shared Reiki with people as far away as New Zealand, Oregon, Spain, you know, New York, and I'm in Colorado. Mm-hmm.
So you can work with anyone, anywhere.
Yes, because if you think about it, when we talk about Reiki and this universal life force, are you watching your dog? Where's your dog going?
She's whining at the door here. So
you've got mom eyes.
So sorry.
That's okay. It's way okay.
This is real, folks. This is how conversations happen, right?
Yes, keeping it real. I love it. So if you think about it, when we talk about Reiki as universal life force energy, that means it's part of all of us, no matter where we are, no matter what time, no matter what place, we can tune in and connect to this. So a Reiki practitioner, typically level 2, learns symbols and a system and approach so that they can connect with people on this level and essentially continue to be that conduit for Reiki energy and send it to them from a distance.
You said something. You said Reiki level 2. How many levels of Reiki are there?
Typically there's 3. And thank you for asking that question, because every Reiki approach is very similar. There's loads of similarities, and there might be some unique nuances. Nuances such as, typically there's 3 levels, but the nuances might be the Reiki master teacher may say, there needs to be a period of time with which the student needs to practice at level 1 or level 2, or before they become a Reiki master teacher. So the Reiki master teacher will share that with the student.
Okay, awesome. So before we get off of this recording, because we know how fast these go, what is it that you want to make sure that we cover, the message that you want to put out there?
Yeah, so what I'd like to share is, I guess, a couple of things. One is that I mentioned a moment ago and I alluded to, is that we are all connected to universal life force energy. We all have access to this. In fact, there's a saying which is, if you feel called to Reiki, it's the perfect time, and reach out if you're curious about it. It's the right time for you to explore that. And if you elect to have a session, you will receive exactly what you need.
And I'm going to second that, because I've had numerous Reiki sessions from numerous practitioners, and every single one of them has been different. And some have blown my mind with the messages or the healing that I needed, and others were, I just felt leaving very relaxed. And I'm going to agree with you that that is exactly what I needed at that moment. It was not anything revelations or life-changing in terms of a wake-up call. It was just, oh, this is exactly what my body needs today.
Yes. Typically, in a session, the receiver is either laying on a massage table. Some practitioners will have them sit in a particular chair. They may even be in a massage chair where their head might be in a cradle. Every practitioner has their version, but there's no like requirement per se that I'm aware of. And the Reiki practitioner will lay her hands, as you said a moment ago, on very gently on the receiver, or just a little bit above, or sometimes it's up here, in non-intrusive parts of the person, generally in the areas of the chakras. And the reason for that is because, and we won't go into a conversation about chakras, I won't steer us that way, but the chakras then can impact our endocrine system and the parts of ourselves that will be cellularly helped, aided, impacted with the Reiki. So Reiki is able to heal us mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, all those parts of us. And it does so by this transference of energy that comes through the practitioner's hands. It comes to the receiver, and it helps alleviate, remove any particular kinds of energetic blocks that may be existing, whether it's in the auric field, in the chakra area. That's essentially what's happening in Reiki. And one of the things I wanted to share also is that in the event that will be next month with You Define Wellness, the online event, I'll be sharing a little bit more about that.
And I'll talk about that.
And my website also offers a little bit of information about how Reiki impacts us for healing as well.
And that's an excellent segue. I'm so glad you did that. So if you're watching this video, are you ready to try Reiki? It is an exciting thing to try. I encourage you to give Michelle a call. Here is her website, peacebridgereiki.com. And if you take a look at it, oh, I'm going to move this down just a little bit. There we go. And if you take a look at it, go over to the Let's Connect. You will be brought to this page where you can connect with her. You can find her Facebook page. And oh, look at that, the You Define Wellness logo. I love it. Thank you very much. And that will lead me over to the You Define Wellness website. It's youdefinewellness.com. That's Y-O-U, definewellness.com. And as Michelle indicated, we are having an event in July 2019 called the Defining Wellness Confab. And if you're watching this after the event has happened, not to worry, go over to our YouTube channel. Just look for You Define Wellness, and you will find videos of all the speakers. We have literally about 40 speakers, 18 hours of health and wellness presentations, and all kinds of information for you to enjoy and watch those videos. So with that being said, thank you so much for joining me today, Michelle. I love chatting with you every single time.
It's been fun.
And I love seeing this side of you that I hadn't, it was all new to me, and that was awesome. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you also for watching us. We'd love to connect with you and be there as a resource for you for your health and wellness needs. Thank you for joining us.